Test, 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 test. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Live stream number 10. First of all, can everybody hear me? If you could let me know in the comments if you can hear me, that would be awesome. I'm just going to move a few things around here. Had some camera trouble getting started. It was kind of silly. It wasn't camera trouble at all. It was the overlay that I uploaded to put the title on the top. I forgot to save it as transparent image, so it was hiding myself and I couldn't see myself. I thought the camera was down, but it wasn't the camera at all. So anyways, hopefully you can hear me. I'm just going to try to confirm. Nobody's confirmed yet. Test, test. Looks like my audio is working, but I'd love it if somebody just confirmed that before I get into this. Yes, got my first yes, Dr. Techie MMC. Thank you. Yeah, I've got the microphone in a little different spot this time. Loud and clear. Mackenzie, thank you. Awesome. Different location this time so that the microphone is out of frame, just trying something new. So it's a little farther away. Hopefully you can still hear me just fine. And let's see what else. Yeah, so Camtasia 2022. That's what this live stream is all about. Is live stream number 10. So I've done this 9 other times now and starting to get a little more comfortable with it. So for those of you who have been to my previous ones, thanks for stopping in again and thanks for your support. As you know, I've been doing a lot of Camtasia videos, also doing some Fiverr videos as well. But today is all about Camtasia 2022. Great. Looks like we got 13 viewers in here right now. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I've got a couple of questions that have already been asked, which I will get to. But first, let me just do a couple of little housekeeping things, just to let you know what this stream is going to be all about. I plan on being here for about an hour. I may stick around longer, depending on how quickly I can get through these things, and depending on how I'm feeling. As luck would have it, I came down with COVID yesterday. Well, probably a couple days before that, but I tested positive yesterday. So I am isolating in my little office here, and but my voice is a little scratchy. Other than that, I feel fine, just kind of like a head cold. But as long as I can keep doing this, I'll stick around as long as I can, as long as you guys keep having questions you want answered. And I want to hit on the major new release points of Camtasia 2022. So let me just quickly scan the comments. Going last one first. The last one, which I can show the comments up here, and this will kind of take me into an explanation as to how I stream. So Stage Seminars asks, thank you, Stage Seminars, for stopping in. Are you streaming directly or do you use something like Restream? Something like Restream. It's called StreamYard. That's what I use. Yeah, I have a StreamYard account and I have that connected to YouTube. And through StreamYard, I'm able to stream on YouTube. I could also stream on Facebook or Twitch or multiple locations at the same time using StreamYard. But right now, I only have an audience on YouTube. So that's all I use it for. But one of the things I love about StreamYard is the ability to put... I've got the wrong glasses on. I usually have, there we go. The ability to display chat comments on screen live. So you just asked a question and I was able to click something in StreamYard that displayed your chat. And I can show you really quickly how I did that by looking at this other view. That is a view of what I see right here. So this is a tab open. StreamYard is browser-based, so this is a tab that I've got open, and this here is where it lists all the chats that are coming in, and they are all coming in from YouTube because that's the only place I'm streaming to. And there is your comment there, and I was able to click right here to show it, just like that. Just click or unclick, and that is how that works. So thanks for the question. Let me just go right back up to the top here. Because I had a question right here from Office Mystic. Thanks for stopping by. Actually, this question came in before I went live, so about an hour ago maybe. And he says, can you enlarge and smooth mouse pointer? Someone else tested 2022 and he tested mouse movement animation that you can create, but I'm curious if you can clean up the actual mouse movements. The quick answer is yes. You can scale the mouse up and down and it won't get pixelated. But also you can smooth out the actual cursor animations, the movements across your screen, and you can edit that as well in 2022. And I've watched a couple of videos on how to do it. I'm going to do it for the first time myself live here, so you guys can see how I do it, and you can kind of follow me along as I struggle to learn how to do it, and we can figure it out together. So, but that's one of the things I'm really excited about, the cursor movement option. Yeah, really excited about that. Thanks for your question. Let me just keep going right down here. Pamela Powers says, thanks for this. No problem, Pamela. Thank you for stopping by again. I've seen you in the live streams before, so that's great. Thank you. Let's see what else. Everyone confirmed that they can see and hear me, so that's great. Dr. Techie MMC said, I just downloaded mine. I assume you mean 2022. That's awesome. I only downloaded it, I'm going to say 2 hours ago. So I'm brand new with it. I am not, I have gone online and I've seen a couple of videos, but I was kind of nervously, I was told that June 7th was the release date. And it was by somebody in tech support at TechSmith, Camtasia. And but when I asked a follow-up, on the 7th, what time of day, I never got a response to that. So I didn't know if it was going to be released in time for me to do this at 1 o'clock or 12 Eastern when I said I was going to go live. And so this morning I checked it and it was still not available. And then I went on to the TechSmith video editing or video capture web page and found that it was available. So I downloaded it and had a quick look through it, and yeah, here we are. So glad it came out on time. Otherwise, I was going to have to push this till tomorrow. Glenn Slifer, vitamin D and Advil helps. I've got ibuprofen in me. I've got my Halls here for the scratchy throat. Thanks for the advice. I think hopefully I've got that covered. I don't feel too bad. So hopefully this is as bad as it gets. I'm all immunized and boosted and all that stuff. So hopefully that means I'll have a quick go of this COVID thing. So a lot of people have had it a lot worse than I have. And Stage Seminar says, thanks. Yeah, StreamYard is the other company like Restream. Very similar, almost like Camtasia versus ScreenFlow on the Mac. Yes, yeah, I've actually never tried Restream, but I understand it is similar. When I was researching which live stream platform to go with, those were two of them that I looked at, StreamYard and Restream. I also looked at OBS. That's a free alternative. But the one thing OBS made a little more difficult was, getting comments on screen just like this. And I really wanted that. I'd seen other people do that, and I liked the way that looks. And I can even change the look and feel of that. I can change. Right now, I've got a green color to kind of match. I don't know if you can see where I point. No, not really. Just to match Camtasia's green. But you can customize that to suit your own branding, if you will. So yeah, no, I like that. OBS made it hard to put on-screen comments like that, or didn't make it hard. It's just not intuitive how to do that. So I stuck with StreamYard, and I'm happy. So there's 10 streams in, and plus a couple months of testing it before I went live, and I love it. It's great. I may do some streams through OBS just to see, because I know there's a few more things that you can do with OBS that you can't do with StreamYard yet. Maybe they're working on things like position of me on screen when I'm sharing my screen. I don't have any other options but the default here in StreamYard, whereas OBS, you could customize all that fairly easily. Yeah, okay. So, one second here. Stage Seminar says, OBS is fantastic for camera control, and then stream out to StreamYard. Mix them together and it'll blow your mind. I agree. It is. Now, what I do for camera control is I got this thing. I'm able to switch camera views like that. I currently have 2 cameras set up. This one just on a little tripod like this. Okay, and the way I switch back and forth is with that guy there, the 810 Mini Pro. So if I switch between 1 and 2 for the different camera views. So that's the way I've handled that, switching between cameras, but it doesn't allow me to have, well, actually it does. It does have picture in picture, so I could merge the two together. But basically StreamYard, and I believe Restream too, any of the browser-based streaming platforms, they basically look for a webcam. So you would need to plug your DSLR camera, or that's what this is here, and the one I'm filming with here. You'd have to plug that into your computer another way, either through an 810 Mini like I have, or with something called a Camlink, which I had one here somewhere, but it's not plugged in right now. Otherwise, yeah, that's how you get your camera into your computer. But yeah, with OBS, I guess you can take several different sources and combine them together, and then you live stream. The difference could be in performance. If you don't have a great computer, a fast computer, OBS does take a lot more resources to do the streaming. And to basically process everything, all the cameras together and any overlays that you have and all that stuff has to be done on your computer. Some people have a separate streaming PC from their PC that they're showing. Like, for example, gamers may have a separate two PC or 2 computer system. But with StreamYard, and I believe Restream, it's browser based, and they handle all of the processing. So I just have to send one signal up, and then they take care of putting everything together. So I love it for its ease of use. Okay, what do we have next? I'm just going through some questions. I will get to Camtasia 2022 very soon. I know that's what a lot of you here are probably here for. But the way I usually start these streams is for the first 10, 15 minutes or so, I'll just go through some questions that I have, and then I'll stop those and I'll actually go through the content that I want to go through with you, and then answer questions as we go. So I see we have another question here. Philip L., thanks for stopping by, Philip. Not really a question, but he says, one step further, but not free, vMix is a great alternative to OBS. Yes, vMix. I had that downloaded at one point. I was thinking I was going that route at one point. I forget why I changed. Again, everything does run on your computer, and you have a lot of flexibility. But I don't have the latest, greatest computer. So I just thought to myself, let's just use StreamYard for this. They handle all of that. I also don't have a great upload speed. My internet connection is 900 megabits per second down, which is awesome, but only 10 up. Actually, they just upped it to 15 megabits per second up, which is fine for streaming. 10 was working great for streaming one stream, but as soon as I plug in another camera, and if I do that mixing here on OBS or vMix and then send them up, that's sending 2 separate camera streams up to the internet, and I'm not sure my upload speed can handle that. So my computer can probably handle it, but maybe not my upload speed. So this way, I'm sending one signal up, and StreamYard processes everything, and it's super simple. But if you have fiber op or Fibe, I think it's called in some places here in Atlantic Canada, they call it fiber op, basically fiber internet connection. Then you should have no issues. You could probably do it whichever way you want to. So there you go. Okay, so excuse me. Again, I apologize for my voice, little crackly today, but we'll get through this. So Camtasia 2022 is out. I downloaded it this morning, and I've gone through it. And let me bring it up on my screen here. I just have to launch it again because I had to reset my computer. There's one thing that you can't do. Let me just close this off here. Here we go. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let me just. me see. Sorry, bear with me 1 second here. Share screen. Now I have to make sure to share my system audio so that way you can hear what's going on the screen. And we share that screen and click share. Got it. Okay, there we go. So please ignore the the messy desktop. But I've got here, I have launched Camtasia 2022, and this is what the new home screen looks like. It looks a little bit different. And so right off the bat, we can see this here looks new. Now, I'll preface this by saying, when I use, okay, first of all, I am not a TechSmith or Camtasia sponsored person or channel at all. So I did not get a preview version of this. This is all my own comments. No one's told me to say anything or anything. This is all, I've used Camtasia for over 10 years as a user, and I kind of share my experience with you guys. So these are all my opinions, and I use Camtasia myself mainly for video tutorial building. I've made video tutorials for companies for many years. Right now I do it as a freelancer through Fiverr, but before that I had my own company, Demo Wolf, where I made literally thousands of video tutorials for, some were prepackaged that hosting companies could buy, and others I did custom. So I've been using it for a long time, but I don't ever use any of these buttons. So again, this section here is new. Okay, new recording. If I click here, see, I can start right off the bat with a new Camtasia recording, a new Audiate recording. That's their sound editor, TechSmith's sound editor, or a new Snagit recording. Okay, so this makes it super easy to launch right into a new recording if that's what you want to do. That's not anything I ever do. So this is okay. It's great for some people, but doesn't have a whole lot of value add for me for what I do. Another section down here, recent projects. So here's a test recording. I actually just created that 15 minutes before going live because I wanted to have a file that I could kind of show you guys as I went through some of these things. So I did a recording of that. And that's why I could not start my camera, or that's one of the reasons I was having trouble with my camera. I can't live stream on StreamYard that uses my camera at the same time as I record through Camtasia with that camera. Okay, so that's two different pieces of software trying to use my camera, and I can't do that. So so basically I shut down StreamYard, and then I did my recording, and then I reset my computer, and then I turned StreamYard on. So that's the way that's how I was able to get around that. But let me know if you guys have, for those of you who do live stream, let me know if you've ever run into that, or what a workaround might be, because that would be useful to be able to live stream doing a recording. So I'm going to look a little bit more into that. But this section here is a quick way to get at your recent projects. Okay, I could just click here to open that one. Or if you click here, you can start off with a template. Okay, now I don't use templates very often myself at all. I haven't used them. The way I've normally done that is I have a particular way I like to make my video tutorials, and I will quite often open up one that I've already done, strip out everything that I don't need for the new project I'm working on, and then start from there. It's kind of like using a template, but if you do the same, let's say you have several different types of videos you like to make, and you want to save each type as a separate template. Well, then you can do that here. You can save your own templates, and then this section will allow you to launch a new project using whichever template you want. Okay, so it's very easy. You can just let me just pick one here. Here, Camtasia 2022 default template. If I click on that, or do I have to double click? Might have to double click. Let's double click. Try again. Okay, double click. Just wait for that to open up. It's warm in here. Okay, I have noticed. Let me just hide this. No, I suppose it doesn't. Check for updates. No, I'm okay with that. So now it's loading. Here we go. So let me just minimize myself here. Let's make this full screen. Let me get myself off altogether. Okay. Everyone can still hear me, I hope. Here is Camtasia 2022 with the template loaded. So I'm starting now with the template, the Camtasia 2022 template, and let's just play this. I'm just going to quickly scrub through here to see what it looks like. Okay, so it looks like it has a nice little intro here with a title and subtitle there. Fades away. And then this is a screen recording, video recording here. So this is a placeholder, they call it. And what you would do is you would replace this placeholder with your own screen recording. And then at the end here, fades away, and then it goes through the outro. I think that looks pretty cool. So, and these can all be edited. So anytime you see, I mean, you can tell that this is built in Camtasia. So I can highlight this. And then if I want to make any changes to it, with it okay, so let's just start over here. With it highlighted, let's say I wanted to change the title and the web address here. I can click to highlight it, and then if you come up here to the properties window, you can see that it gives you options to edit your title and edit your website. So let me just, your title here, I don't know, let's just put Rob the Maritimer. I'll tab, and then that made it take effect. And then let's change the address, robmaritimer.com, uppercase, but it doesn't matter. You get the idea. There you go. So that was able to change that. And now let's see, what else can we change? So we can see that the predominant color is blue. If we wanted to change that, that looks like we can change that right here. We can make that green, make that whatever color we want. Whoops. Highlight it again. And then just play the exit. And now it's the purple color I just chose. So yeah, starting off with a template could be very handy. You may want to just use the ones that Camtasia provides, and they provide a lot of them. Or you can create your own. Might be kind of time consuming to create your own, but once you have it created and save it as a template, then you can save you a ton of time in the future if you make other videos that you want to have with that same template. Sorry. Excuse me. Okay, so let me just back out of here. We looked at the templates. I'm going to, what am I going to do here? Let's just close this. I'm going to open a new project. Now, where did I save that? In testing. Okay, so I'm just going to bring up the a new project that I had. Oh, I didn't. Okay, this is the one that let's not save this. This is the one I recorded right before I came live. Yeah, again, this is Camtasia 2022, and so I now have a project that I've created, and as you can see down here, I've got 2 tracks. I have my screen capture here, and then my own camera down here with audio. Okay, so I just did a very quick little scroll down through, moved my mouse around a bit, did some talking, and we can use this now to go through some of the other newer things in Camtasia 22. So next on my list is new in 2022 is the library expansion. And actually, you can see it right here. So if we go to, let me just, sorry if I'm just bouncing around a little bit here, but I didn't know, I've never done one of these live walk through a new piece of software that I haven't had time to go through it a lot myself first. So this will take a little bit of time. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just going to bring up a web page here. Help Center, Camtasia. Whoops. Yeah, I'm doing this on my other screen. Let me see. Products, tutorials. There we go. Okay. Let's bring this over here. Okay, that should do it. So, all right. So Camtasia tutorials. I went to this page this morning and I found a whole bunch of tutorials here on what's new in 2022. So these are all new video tutorials in the TechSmith support page where you can go to learn about this stuff and get more details about this. So my plan is to go through some of these things. If I just click on this video here, yeah, that gets me to the same page that I recorded earlier. I'm going to go through some of these things at a higher level today. And then my plan would be to make short videos on all of the individual little things in Camtasia 22 from now going forward, so that you'll be able to refer to them in the future. But let's just kind of go through these together. So Camtasia Home, we went through this. It's got a new home screen. As I say, I don't necessarily use this. I save all my files as zip files anyways, all my projects. So I typically will just click here, click new project, get Camtasia opened, and then I will import from a zip file. That's how I start. Or if I'm starting from scratch, when I'm finished, I will export to a zip file, and then that's what I save. Because then all of my project files, Camtasia project file and all the images, logos, recordings, audio recordings, all of that gets saved in the zip file, and then I don't have to go searching for them. So that's how I use that. Automatic cursor replacement is something else that's new that somebody touched on in the questions, and I'm really excited about that one. But where did library expansion go? Let's see. New video templates. Okay, let's just minimize this. Here's the library. Let's do it this way. Let's go through the library. There are over 1,000 new assets in the library, and I'll tell you, I've been trying to teach myself Premiere Pro for the longest time. I find it very difficult. I've made my last couple of videos with Premiere Pro, just because a lot of their assets, or a lot of the assets that are available to you on the internet, have that modern, polished look to them. And I always found that in Camtasia, just things seemed a little bit bigger, bulkier, not as refined, the animations and whatnot. So, but I'll tell you, I've had a quick look at the new assets in the library of Camtasia 2022, and I'm impressed. So much so that I may rethink my wanting to learn Premiere Pro so much. I think Camtasia will be able to allow me to do everything. That, with the fact that you can use proxy videos to speed up the editing of 4K video in Camtasia, I think those two things together are going to make it super easy to edit full videos in Camtasia. So it is still mainly a screen recorder, but it's getting better and better at screen recording, or at video editing as well. So if we go through the library here, so it's got all these folders, and you can drop them down and see what's in here. So in audio, you have a whole bunch of some music, callouts. You have, here's something that's cool. So yeah, audio is, again, I'm going to take a quick look at these, and I don't know if I'd even be able to hear them unless I put this on, but I get most of my audio stuff, background music and things like that, from Storyblocks, which is a subscription service that I subscribe to. But let me just see what this what's in here. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, so that's 1:21. Can you guys hear that? I did share my screen audio, but it'd be great if you can let me know if you can hear that. So anyway, so yeah, you can preview them just by double clicking. That's a country themed one, and so on. So there's all kinds of different background music. There's one called Synthwave. Again, let me know if I'm wasting my time. If you can't hear me, if you can't hear that, then there's no point in showing that. We can hear it. Awesome. Thanks, Mackenzie. Okay, now callouts. Here's one. There's a few new things in here under counters. So this is new. You can now add a counter to your videos. So there's several different kinds here, and all you have to do is just drag them down to your timeline. So count down seconds, for instance. Let's just drag this one down to the timeline and put it right there and move our, okay, I can't see it because it's white. Let me just hide the screen here. There it is. So if I just play this. Hey guys, so this is just okay, you're hearing the video underneath. I'll just silence that. It's a countdown. I mean, simple enough, counts down in seconds. But is it just 10 seconds? No, I believe. Yeah, you can stretch this out and make it as long as you want. So if you want is there any limit at all? Let's see if there's a limit to this. Okay, yeah, it's just seconds. So once you get past a minute, looks like it resets. Let's see what this looks like. 3, 2, 1, 0, 59. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, it's called the countdown in seconds. So that's all you're going to get is seconds. But yeah, you can, if you want an 8-second countdown, you just move your, you drag it like this until you see 8. There, it's 8 seconds. And then you can drag that anywhere. Let's say I want the 8 seconds to start there. There you go. But now let's get this on the video that I had. So I'm sure there's a way I can change the color of this. Yes, of course. So up here, I can change the font as well. Oh, great. Okay. So I can change the font. My fonts take a long time to load because I think I have too many in my computer. Did I even click that? There we go. So yeah, you can change the font. Let's change the color to, let's change it to red. Now let's bring our video back. Okay, there we go. Oh, isn't that interesting? Okay, so you see the formula when you actually highlight it. I wanted to highlight it to change the size. And okay, it looks like you can go up to 256 pixels, I believe that is. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Right on text. On there you go, countdown timer. And of course, you can move it to anywhere in the screen you want. If you want to put it up in the top corner here, maybe you want a, let's say a 5-second timer. There we go. Before your video starts. Move the video like that. Then you've got a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Video starts. Hey guys, so this is cool, eh? Cool, eh? There's my Canadian. So there you go. So that's a second countdown. Seconds. You can count down. That's a timestamp countdown. That's cool. So let's just try to drag that on here. Let's change the color of that to red so we can see it. I'm going to delete the other one. Okay, so that's new Camtasia. That's counting down your frames. Or the timestamp. I've got this project set to 30 frames per second, so that's why it's starting there. So 10, that is 10 seconds, and if I wanted it to be less, I can drag it here, and I can see the duration. I just set that to 5. I wonder if I can right-click and change the duration. Yes, I can. Change that to 5. Okay. Boom. Perfect. Hey guys, so this is just a test. All right, that's cool. So countdown timestamp, media frame counter. That would be similar. Media timestamp, timeline frame counter, timeline timestamp. So there's all kinds of counters, and I can think of all kinds of cool. I mean, you can create a like a countdown reel if you want. You know how the old-fashioned movies start with the 3, 2, 1 with movie reels and whatnot in the background. You could make something like that with this. You can easily make your own countdown timer for going live, actually, because StreamYard allows you to upload a live or upload a video. So I could create a video that's, say, a 5-minute countdown for the last 5 minutes before I go live. So let's say I was going to go live at noon. I could actually go live at 11:55 and launch that video, and then I would just have to be ready to go live when the time when the time reaches 0. Like I wasn't today. I wasn't ready today. So so counters, they're new. Let's see what else we have in here. Indicator and text. DY. Okay, this is cool as well. So the indicator and text allows you to, they're like better callouts. So the old style callouts with Camtasia have been really updated and they look really good now. So, and again, let's just get rid of this one here. And I'm going to bring down this first one. Let's just see what it looks like. So here's a new callout. And as you can see, it was built with, it's set up as a group. Okay, and I can actually right click and open group to see what's all in there. Okay, so there's all kinds of, okay, let's Control Z and back that up. Oh, it took it right away. Let's bring it back down again. Let's just play this, see what it looks like. Hey guys, so this is just a test to show you the, all right, I'm going to move my video out of the way for now. There you go. So that's a brand new call out. And again, if you highlight it, right, you can come over here to the right and you can make changes to anything here. So let's say down here, it says step 2. So I can change that to step 1. I'll just hit tab and that makes it take effect. And then the headline, look at this tab. And then I can write in the body. This is pretty cool. Tab. There you go. Now, indicator. Rectangle is what's currently showing here. And what are my options? I can go ellipse. Okay, so that's going around the step number 1. I can change that from an ellipse to a star. Octagon. Oh, no, that's the background. I see what I did. Okay, that was a rectangle. You can change the shape of the indicator as well as the background and the border. So let's say I want my indicator to be an ellipse, the background to be an ellipse. Now let's change the border to be an ellipse. All right, that's cool. Although my text doesn't line up now. Now, how would I get around that? Can't move it like this. Can I change? What if is there any way to center this, I wonder? I'm not sure. This is pretty cool. If I put some spaces at the beginning, that does something. Okay, so I can put some spaces in there, and there's got to be a better way, I would think, to make that centered. What if I click here? Oh, of course. Yes, Dr. Techie MMC says click that A for text properties. Thank you very much. You're right. So yeah, so we can change the text, alignment centered. Awesome. Size, we can change the size. That's cool. Change the font. Very nice. Okay, so that's here. And then, of course, we can change the text properties for all of them. All right. I like this. Okay, so once you get it looking the way you want it, I would assume that right here we're pointing at something, so then you can move this around. So let's say I'm pointing to something. Let's bring the video back in. So now let's say, well, I don't know. See, yeah, let's say I just wanted to highlight this here. I can move this Now I make it smaller. I should be able to make it smaller. Yeah, of course. And then I can point it there. And then let's see what that looks like. So on this page, you can see that. Yeah, pretty cool. So that, again, this is the first time I've ever used this. So there may be other ones. Obviously, this yellow doesn't look great with a white background. It looks much better with a dark background like that. But you can play around with the colors, find something that looks great for you. Let's just delete this one and bring another one on. See what it looks like. Okay, that's a bigger one. Let's see what that looks like. So on this page, you can see that it says what's very nice. Okay, so and then again, let's click the properties, come over here, and that's where we can change the text. So this is my text tab, and the properties. You can change the properties here. Change the size of the text. That's cool. Okay, now if I just change the size of it this way, okay, so there's no way to, well, it only scales it. There's no way to make it smaller. You could probably rotate this too, I would assume. Yeah, you can rotate it around that point right there. That's cool. All right. And yeah, so DIY examples, they have a ton of them here. Some smaller ones. See what that looks like. Down, we can see the Camtasia library. Very simple. Some other ones that are on an angle here. And then if we scroll down, that looks very similar to the other one. So lots of new callouts, but they are calling them, these are in the indicator and text in the under DIY examples. Okay, so let's move on to see what else they have. I'm just going to close this. Title reveal up are some more callouts. Look at them all. Wow. Let's drag one of these onto the screen and see what this is all about. Scroll down. Very nice. Further. Very nice. And again, any of these, they've all been built in Camtasia, so you can modify these if you want. If you're really good with animation and grouping and all that, all you have to do is right click here and ungroup. Okay, and then as you can see, this one here had two groups within the group. So now here you can right click and ungroup that one. Okay, what did that do? I just undid it. Let's click the plus here. It's got a reveal transition. Okay. Oops, went back too far. Yeah, you can really get into this, and yeah, so there's some hidden masking done here, and it can get complicated building these, and that's why, if at all possible, if you don't have to build these from scratch, then don't. And it looks like they've got so many in here you can choose from. You can go with pretty much any look you want. You can change the color of all these things over here, right? You can change your font with this here. Okay, so yeah, all kinds of new callouts. That's great. To field. Let's see what's in there. So, oh wow. So here are some that have two fields. There you go. So you have like almost like a title and a subtitle in this one. Let's just watch it animate. And now how Camtasia and Audiate can sync together. Okay, and does it? No, it doesn't animate away. So you could add a fade out or a fade transition to the end of that if you'd like. Let's just clean this up a little bit. I'm going to delete all these, bring the video back. Okay, so moving right along. I'm amazed at how many of these there are. MCI002. Okay, these are all just different types. And for each different type, they have a bunch of examples. Okay, so these are all green, pointing left or pointing down to the left, left down angled, left down curved. So they're the naming convention is makes a lot of sense. So that should help. This one goes to the right, right down, and they're all green. But don't pay any attention to that. You can change them all over here to whatever color you want. Okay, the MCI 00, 2, 3, 4. Those are just different styles. It looks like. So that's green. Okay, so that one has an arrow. Let's go back to the green one. Oh no, I have that one. It can't be just here, let me just start over. So green 003 left. Okay, so that is just a blunt. There's no arrowhead there. It's just a blunt line. And then if I go to the next one, 4 left. Okay, so it's the same one, but now you have an arrow, and it just has a slightly different animation to it. Okay, I see what they're doing. Number 5. What's number 5? That's a circle. Okay, like a filled in circle that animates. Okay, so all kinds of different styles of callouts. And I've probably gone through this enough today, but have some fun with that and try to find something that you like. Once you find something that you like, start saving them as your favorites. I'm sure you can make these your favorites. Let's say I go to indicators with text, MC001. Can I make this a favorite? I'm not sure if I can. If anybody can tell me how we can save these as favorites, that would be great. I don't know that it's possible. So in that case, if you can't, I think the best thing to do would be to maybe make a template that includes all the ones you want to use. I'll have to put some thought into that. Again, I'm just figuring this out as I go. Once I find solutions to the questions that I have and that you have that I can answer, I'll get back to you guys either in a future live stream next week or maybe even Thursday. And also, I'm going to make videos on all of this stuff. Okay, so then we have just indicators. I think we've been through some of these. Oh no, this is indicators without text. So if I bring one of these down, yeah, just an indicator, and then you can add your own text or maybe a logo that points to something. That would be indicators. Indicators with divider. Let's see what these look like. Just clean some of this up again. Indicator left down with divider. Let's see what that looks like. The Camtasia library expansion. And then okay, so that's all that is, just without the text. Then I can add my own text if I have 2 or 3 different, or a paragraph I wanted to put in there. Excuse me, that would be a good call out to use. Okay, so how are we doing so far? So I think that's call outs. Titles was another one in the library. Let's just collapse these call outs. There's all kinds of stuff here in the library. Cursor packs, Mac or Windows, depending on what you, all kinds of different cursors. Okay, you can bring that onto your screen. Now, this may not be new. I just haven't used it before. Okay, and you can scale that up, I assume. Yeah. Okay. But I also wrote down titles. If you go, so again, we are in, where are we? We're in the library tab. Scroll down to titles, and then there are a whole bunch of new titles here. Whole bunch of assets that you can choose from to create your own title. And the way you would do that is you would just click and drag it down to your timeline or to the canvas. Let's just see what that one looks like. You can see the. I'm just going to silence the background there. A slow zoom and then a zoom fade. Okay, simple enough. Pretty cool. Broadcast title. Let's see what that is. Well, that was neat. Okay, with a little bit of color to it. Not just black and white, but there's some blue there. And yeah, anytime you see a color like that in any of these, you can usually edit it to whatever color you want. And as you can see over here, you can. Okay. All righty. So that's titles, all kinds of new title callouts here. And so you can go through those yourself at your leisure if you want. I will as well once we finish with this live stream. Another one I wanted to point out was UI Kit. And that's down here, again, in the library. And in here, you can find under devices. So I have made some video tutorials on, so for instance, if a client comes to me and they want me to make a video tutorial for them of an app that's on their phone, okay? What I typically would do is I would go to Google and download a template of whatever phone, like a phone template of whatever phone they want me to do it on. I would typically use an iPhone. iPhone is what I have, so that's what I would use, unless they ask for something different. And then I would screen record on my phone, and then I would capture that, and then I would bring that into Camtasia, and then I would basically put a phone frame over top of that video, and then put that within a widescreen video that I make. That's the process that I went through. But now, what you can do is you can go in here, and let's bring on. So over here we can see that it says Phone Pro Max Landscape. Okay, so let's just drag that over here, see what that looks like. There you go. So that is the phone template, and you can resize this, I believe. Yeah, you can resize that, reposition it if you want. And you can see some placeholder text here. So what would you do with that? Well, if you come over to the right, it just makes it very easy to use a phone template that's already right in Camtasia for you. You don't have to go hunting for it. And it allows you to make changes to it. So if I were just going to play this, just see what it looks like. Yeah, there's really nothing going on except the placeholders. But you can click in here and you can make changes to things. Okay, so what is this? Ellipse to a star. Ellipse, I'm not sure what that does. Rectangle, ellipse, rectangle. Now, I may have to start right-click to import a file. So yeah, you can right-click, import a file. Now, I don't have a file ready to do this with, but that would be how you would get your media into here. So if you recorded your phone in a horizontal position for widescreen, that's how you would get it in there. And then there's a whole bunch of other things you can do to this to modify it to your liking. Cool. I'm going to need to spend some more time on that, but they have other ones here. Phone Pro Max, Portrait, a Pixel phone, Tablet Pro, Landscape. So they have all kinds of devices in here, all ready for you to go. They also have some browser 1080p, so that's a browser window. They have buttons in here, button outline. Let's just bring one of those over, see what that looks like. Is it animated or anything? No, not really. It's just a button. But again, if you click on it, you can come over here and you can make changes to it. Let's make it green. Let's make the fill pink. I don't know, purple. What did that do? Okay, these may be for the part of Camtasia that I don't actually use. When you can make interactive videos, and that's I believe what these buttons are for. But I actually don't make videos like that because I only make videos for clients who are going to upload them to YouTube or Vimeo or something like that, or for my own videos. Toggle on and off. Okay, so anyways, extensive library, over 1,000 new or over 1,000 assets in the new library. So really cool. I think I've gone through enough of that for now. So let me just quickly pop over to, I'm just going to make myself full screen. So let me quickly pop over to the chat and just see if I missed anything. Yes, Dr. Techie MMC, thank you for the help while I was going through that. Click the A for text properties. Let's see what we have here. Maynor Mariquin says, Rob, I have to pay for the new Camtasia. Okay, so yeah, it depends on when you bought it. So when you last purchased Camtasia will dictate whether or not you can get this newest version for free. So the way it works, my understanding is, so I bought Camtasia a long time ago. And when you buy it now, you get, I believe, one free upgrade to the next full version. So right now we're on 2022. So if anybody buys it now, my understanding would be that you'll get 2022 now and also 2023 for free. Maybe don't quote me on that because this is day one, but I know that had you bought 2021 last week, that would have given you an automatic free upgrade to 2022 today. So that's usually the way they do it. When you get Camtasia, you get it for that year and one more. Beyond that, they give you the option to enroll in their maintenance program, it's called. And I forget how much that is. It's either $50 or $100 a year. And if you keep paying that every year, then you get all upgrades for free going forward. And that's what I do. I just pay them once a year. And that gives me the right to always download the latest version. So if your year and a half or year plus term from when you first bought Camtasia has expired, or if your maintenance plan has expired and you did not renew that, then yeah, you may have to buy the new version. Now, what I don't know is if you have let your maintenance package lapse, maybe you can start that back up again now. I'm not too sure. You'll have to check with TechSmith about that. But that's my understanding of the way that works. So I hope that helps. Hopefully you don't have to pay the full price again. Let's see. John Cordisco says, hi, Rob. Hi, John. Thanks for stopping by the live stream. Good to see you. Brooks Andrus says, library assets can't be favorited. You can save them to a new library. Okay, good to know. Yeah, no, I was looking for a way to favorite that because I favorite a lot of my annotations and transitions and things like that. So saving them to a new library, that sounds like a good idea. I have never done that. So I'm going to look into how to do that the best way, but it sounds like a great way to put all of the assets that you're going to use for, a series of videos or for all your videos, put all those common assets into one new library, I guess. And then you can always go back to that library and get your assets that way. That sounds awesome. So sounds like that's possible. And if that's the case, I need to look into that a little bit more. Dr. Techie MMC says, if you are an educator, get the discount. Yes, that's right. If you are an educator, if you're a teacher or professor, I guess, any educator, there is an educational discount. There may even be a student discount if you're a student. So that could help as well. Awesome. Maynard Mariquin says, I buy it this year. Thanks. If you bought it this year, you should be able to get the upgrade. You should be able to, if you bought it this year, then log into your TechSmith account. And if you go over to products or your products, my products, I think it's called, and then go to Camtasia, you should be able to download it right there. It should be right in your account. So don't pretend like you're going to buy it again. So don't go to TechSmith's website and click buy now. You don't want to do that. Just go log into your account and go under my products and then look for Camtasia, and you should be able to. It was for me. It was right at the very top of my page. I have Snagit as well, but Camtasia 2022. It wasn't there last week. It's there today as a free download. So hopefully, if you bought it this past year, it should be there for you. If it's not, I think I would send TechSmith a support request. Send them an email. They'll get that sorted out for you. Smartphone videography by Friss Holtz. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for your question. says, I have made a folder structure in the library where I save all my favorite assets. Sounds awesome. I don't know why I haven't done that. I guess there's not a whole lot of different assets that I've used. My video tutorials are relatively simple. And I do that because in my experience, I'm making these for other clients, and I'm selling my services on Fiverr, and they tend to be very price conscious there, and they want something quick and fast. And so I haven't put a ton of time into creating all kinds of animations, but I can tell you with what I've seen with what's in the library now, and by being able to use the library, I have to revisit that a little bit because I should be able to make even better looking videos than I have been in the past. So thank you for that. Sounds like you guys all know something that I have not known about. So, but that's cool. That's awesome. Okay, so we're caught up on the questions. What are we? We're an hour into this already, and I feel like I'm just getting going. Although my throat's bugging me a little bit. Again, apologize for my voice. I came down with COVID a couple days ago, so I'm kind of struggling through this. I don't feel too bad, but if my voice sounds a little harsher, a little lower, deeper than it normally does, then that's why. But I'm fine. This will be good. I'm excited to share this with you guys. Let's just quickly move on. So what I've got next written down here, Audiate integration. Okay. And I've also written down a term called text-based editing. So this is a new thing. If you've seen my videos before, you'll know that I do a lot of jump cuts, is what I call jump. Well, that's what everybody calls them, jump cuts, or I do a lot of editing out of mistakes. So when I do a video that I'm going to post to YouTube, I will either read from a teleprompter to make sure I get it 90% correct, or I will memorize one sentence at a time that's written on my computer here, and then look up into the camera and then read it. So there's always going to be mistakes that I have to cut out. Like when I'm looking this way, I got to cut that out. Or if I mess up on a word and I have to say it again, I'll have to cut that out. So what I typically do is I'll then, after I record onto my camera, I'll then bring that into Camtasia, the video and the audio, make sure they're synced together. Now, if you record from a webcam and you're capturing your audio at the same time and you're recording directly into Camtasia, then you won't have to sync anything because it should be synced already. It's just that sometimes I will record onto my camera, onto the SD card on the camera, and then the audio I'm recording, a lot of times I'm recording that separately into Adobe Audition. So I get two separate files. I will then bring them into Camtasia and then marry them up. I'll make sure the sound matches up with the audio. And I do that by just a simple clap. When I click record on the camera, click record on the audio, right before I start, I'll just clap a couple times. And then that creates a spike in the audio and also in the video because the camera is capturing some audio as well. And I'll be able to sync those up in Camtasia. Why did I go down that path? What was I talking about? Help me out here. Brain's a little foggy today. I was talking about recording. So that's how I would typically record a video. Yes. So jump cuts. That's right. So I will cut out all the mistakes and then push everything together. So it might take me 30 minutes of recording time. But then when I edit it down in post, they call it. So post recording, video editing part of it. I will often turn a 30-minute recording into a 5 to 10 minute video. That's how much I will cut out. But now Camtasia has come out with a new way to do this, and I'm not sure yet if it's something that I'm going to want to do, but it might be because it looks really cool, and that is text-based editing using Audiate. So Audiate is TechSmith's audio program. Okay, I have not used it before today because I've used for several years Adobe Audition to do my recordings and to do my editing of my audio afterwards, and I've gotten used to that. I know it's you know, that's an Adobe product, and this is a Camtasia product. TechSmith, Camtasia is different companies, but you know, that's just the workflow that I've come to get good at and get fast at. But now with this new integration with Audiate, it makes it a lot easier, I think. So let me just share my screen. I'm going to show you what I've learned today. Okay, so here is, and this is the video that I recorded right before I went live. Excuse me one second. Excuse me. Okay, so to edit with audio, actually, I just quickly saw a couple of, before I get too deep into this, I just wanted to show these comments. Pamela says, TechSmith just gave me an email to download. Awesome. I probably have that email too, but I found it before they were able to email me. I was checking for the last couple days. So great. Awesome. Go download it. I think you'll like it. I do. And then Dr. Techie MMC says, I love Audiate, especially for making my closed captions. Okay, cool. That's interesting you say that, because my first when I first got into Fiverr and basically selling my video editing services on Fiverr, the first gig I created was a subtitling gig. It wasn't making video tutorials. I was doing that in my other business, but for a quick gig, I was subtitling videos. So I would transcribe and subtitle. But yeah, what I saw with Audiate today, that might make everything a lot easier. Because right now I use a program called, or not a program, a service called Trello. Sorry, I'm confusing two things. I do use Trello, but that's not what I meant to say. Trint is what I use. TRINT.com, I believe. And I subscribe for a year, and it's not cheap, but it allows me to upload videos, and it will transcribe what I call a first pass transcription of the video. As long as the audio is good in the video, it does a pretty good job. Doesn't always get the grammar correct, so I'll have to mess around with, move some commas and periods around, and so you do need to know proper grammar in order to use it. Yeah, so that's what I've used to create my transcription, and then I would export that, and then I would open up Camtasia, and I would put it into the first subtitle, and I would basically go and subtitle my video as I go. And when I'm finished, if my client wanted, and I just noticed another comment, which actually, why is this? Can't quite get down there. Right there, you can export to SRT. Exactly. So if one of my clients wants an SRT file, you can export to SRT right from Camtasia. Now, but I think you're talking about Audiate. So, so again, I'm not an Audiate expert, so I will show you what I've learned about Audiate today, and then you can decide if it's something that you can put into your workflow. So I purposely here created a video where I recorded my screen, okay? And I also recorded myself in camera, and the camera also recorded the audio, okay? So I have all those three elements, and I will only be able to hear it if I put my headphones on. So let me just put these on and just play it a little bit so you know what it sounds like. Hey guys, so this is just a test to show. I'm just gonna make this bigger so you can see. Okay. Show you the new Camtasia 2022 on their website, on TechSmith's website. Okay, I wanted to show you that point right there because it was obvious that I made a mistake, something that I would have to cut out. So normally I would then come to, I'm going to have to move myself here so you can see what I'm doing. Normally I would come into Camtasia here and I would locate the part that I wanted to cut out. Okay, and then I would make a cut here, and then make a cut here, and then put them together, delete the mistake, and then put them together. That's creating a jump cut. That's the way I do it. But now watch this. I hope I get this right. But if you right click, okay, I'm going to right click this track right here. And that is the track that has the audio. Okay. And up here, you'll see edit in Audiate. Okay, let's click that. Save your project. Okay, let's save the project first. Boom. It opens up Audiate. Now, the first time I did this, it did not open it up like this because I wasn't even signed up for it. I am now. I just signed up for the trial an hour ago. So let's just click to continue the trial. So it's not free. Okay, you would have to buy Audiate, and I don't know if they have bundles with Camtasia or not. I'd have to look into that. But for now, I'm on a 7-day trial. So let's click to continue the trial. Now, as you can see, it's transcribing the audio. Okay, so right now it's doing the same thing that I use Trint to do. It's doing the first pass of the audio, and you can see it working in the background. This is pretty cool. And this is Audiate that's doing this, okay? It does take some time. But when it's finished, you can see that it has the transcript here, and you can also see the waveforms, okay? Now, I'm doing this for the first time. I was going to hit spacebar, but I don't know if that does it as well. I'll just hit the play bar here. Hey guys, so this is just a test to show you the new Camtasia 2022 on their website, on TechSmith's website. So on this page, okay, so awesome. So you can see where the mistake is. Now watch this. So first of all, can I just click here? Yes, I can. And if I click play, 22 on their web, Camtasia 2022, you can go in here and you can edit this. So let's click 2022, and I'm going to type 20. No, I can't edit that. How do I edit this? I right click. Okay, I double clicked. Okay, I double clicked that 2022, enter. There. Now let's go back here and hit play. New Camtasia 2022 on their website, on text. Awesome. So there you go. So you can edit your text in here, right in here from within Audiate. Okay. And now let's do one more edit here. There was a mistake here. Let's listen for it again. Website on text. On their website, on TechSmith's website. Okay, so I want to delete this part on text. I'm going to highlight it. Let's just try to hit delete. Yeah, that worked. Whoops. Website, on their website, on TechSmith's. Okay, so I want to delete this as well. On their website. Delete. Okay, let's see what that sounds like. On their website, on TechSmith's website. So, okay, again, so TechSmith should be TechSmith's website. So let's just change that. I'm going to highlight both these words, double click. Oh, it only got one there. Can I not double click two words? Maybe not. No, just one, it looks like. So Tech Smith's. And then let's just delete this. Delete this word. See what that sounds like. Website, on text website. So on this page. Okay, I messed up. Let's try Control Z. That works. That's awesome. Okay, so I need to figure out, what's this? Okay, I'm getting some help from Dr. Techie MMC. Right click and choose combine into one word. Thank you. So let's select. So I hit shift and then clicked the second one to highlight them both. Right click, combine into custom word. Look at that. You're an expert. You should be here. TechSmiths. All right. Now let's see what that sounds like. Website, on TechSmith's website. So on this page. All right. So I know here I'm going to want, that's a new sentence. So I can come in here. Oops. Add a period. Okay. Let's go here and let's just change that to a capital S. Okay. I'm just trying to get used to what I would do when if I were fixing this transcription. So this is very promising. But the main thing I wanted to show you is what it does to Camtasia. So now what I can do, I could continue to go through this, but I just want to, I'm going to, let's pretend we're finished. Okay. Finished with our edits. And we want to see what this did. So let's click export up here. Export to Camtasia. And then you want to choose this on the left side, edit Camtasia timeline. Okay, I want the edit, I want these edits to take effect in the Camtasia timeline. Okay, so with this side selected, click export. I have to save first. Okay, save. Let's just go test. Okay, let's try this again. Export to Camtasia. Oh, it already did it. Okay. I was jumping the gun. I was about to export it a second time. Actually, I can go back to here and just cancel that second export. So, but what it did, it took me back to Camtasia. And if you look down here, I'm going to zoom in. It made edits to my timeline. Hey guys, so this is just a test to show you the new Camtasia 2022 on their website, on TechSmith's website. There you go. So you can tell the jump cut happened right here. So you can see right there. I'm showing my screen. Yeah. That is where the edit occurred to both my camera, which is here, and the screen capture. Okay. You can't see the same edit in the waveform file, in the audio file, but we heard it, right? And you can see that all tracks line up just as they did before. So they're all the same length. So that's another way that you can do your jump cuts. And it's called text-based editing. I have to keep looking down because I saw that written somewhere today. And it's like, huh, that's interesting. That's a neat way to do that. Yeah, I am not sure yet if it's going to be something that I turn to because I have gotten so used to the way I do it. But this is another way, and it may even be a more intuitive way because now you edit based on the audio only, right? You're listening to the audio, and generally, if something sounds good enough, if it sounds good, then it is good, and you can always do edits to the video portion afterwards, right? So that's something new. A new it's more tight. Camtasia is now more tightly integrated with Audiate. So I think that's pretty cool. And apparently Dr. Techie MMC does too. I love it. Great. Yeah. So, I mean, this is all about all of these updates to Camtasia throughout the years. It's all about speeding up the editing process. I don't know about you guys, but what I hear from a lot of people, and definitely for myself, not the hardest, but the most time-consuming part of making a video is editing it afterwards. So sitting down and doing the recording, generally not that hard if you have a script ready. Excuse me. Or if you're doing something just off the cuff, you can just record yourself, and there you go. Same thing with if you're recording your screen, right? You can just record your screen, and then you're done. But if you really want it to look good, you can spend a lot of time editing. So anything that Camtasia TechSmith can come out with that will help speed up the editing process is awesome, right? So if this is now a faster way for you to do your jump cuts, then great. There's a new tool for you. Again, I've got my own way that I have done it before. I'm going to try it both ways to find out, just to see which is faster or whatnot. And I'm also going to test out the Audiate transcription as well, right? Because I mean, it looked like it got most of what I had said correct, but a lot of times clients will send me videos where the audio isn't that great. So how good is Audiate at transcribing those? I'm not sure yet. How does it compare to Trint? I'm not sure yet. Also, Premiere Pro does the same thing in a different way, but they also transcribe within the program. And for all I know, they're all using the same engine. I don't know that for sure, but I do know that there is an engine on AWS or through Amazon or Google or anything. Anyways, there are engines that you can tie your programming to, and that's probably what's been going on here, rather than reinventing the wheel and coming up with your own text to speech, or no, speech to text algorithm. They may well be tying into something that exists already. And for all I know, maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same algorithm. I don't know. But regardless of how they do it, it looks extremely promising to me. So I'm going to give that a go for sure. I have to look at the pricing of Audiate. I don't know. The first time I looked at it, it looked like it was over $300. Is that right? I'm not sure. And is there a discount if you already own Camtasia? I'm not sure. So that's one thing to look into. But I also have to look at the cost of Trint, because the Trint service that I use, I think that was, well, I pay in Canadian dollars, but it was over 900 Canadian dollars for the year. So what's that? 700 or something? $700 a year. But if I was transcribing hundreds of videos a year, so it was worth it to me. Definitely cheaper than going with a paid service or than doing it from scratch yourself. I'm not a fast typer, so that first pass helps me, and then I go through and I edit it and make it correct, and then I go and adjust the syncing in the timeline. So multi-step process. But Audiate, that's the next newest thing for Camtasia 2022. Now here is my favorite. Should I go over my favorite now or wait till I've got 1, 2, 3 more things to share? 3 more things, one of which is my favorite. So do I do my favorite now or one of the other two? Actually, I'm not going to do the favorite now. Oh, what do we got here? Bernie McStay. Thanks for chiming in, Bernie. $2.99. I assume that's for Audiate. So $299. TechSmith may have been showing it to me in Canadian dollars because I'm in Canada, so that's probably why I saw the 300 and something. So $300, but you know what? $300 is less than 800 that I'm paying with Trint, and Trint doesn't integrate with Camtasia like Audiate does. And Audiate, I mean, there are other things you can do with Audiate. You can edit your audio. There's a de-esser in there. I believe there's noise cancellation. There's a bunch of things in there that probably make it well worth it. Again, it's just that I've become used to Adobe's Audition, which is also an audio editor, and I have, I pay for all of the Adobe products, so I have that already, and I've become used to that. But the way Audiate integrates with Camtasia, I think is awesome, and definitely requires me to look into that a little bit more. So $300. At first glance, I think it is well worth it, especially if you don't have, something free already. And nothing else will integrate the way Audiate does with Camtasia. And Bernie says, I couldn't find a discount. Well, there may not be one. I guess we can't always hope for a discount for everything, right? If it's worth it, it's worth it, right? Dr. Techie MMC, $29.99 a month. So that's for Audiate, is it? Because that could be a better way to go for some people, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, reasonable, very reasonable, I would think. Okay, moving right on. So I've got 3 more things. I'm going to get right into my favorite. Cursor effects. Okay. So with a cursor, what I've done in the past, when I make video tutorials, I'm capturing my cursor as well, right? As my mouse cursor moves around the screen, I'm capturing that. And but I've always had to be very careful of where I leave my cursor, okay? Because the way I do things is when I make a video tutorial, I lay out my audio track first, okay? That's just the way I do it. It's not the fastest way, but I think it's the best way to wind up with a finished, polished product. I will start with a script. I'll record it. I'll fix the mistakes. I have a completed edited audio track. I lay that down in Camtasia, okay? And then I start going through my client notes, what he wants to. I've already been through them because I had to go through the script, right? The script that I recorded my voice with. But now I then will go through and do the video recordings, the screen recordings, okay? And if it's a long video, so let's say it's actually anything over a minute and a half, anything over 2 minutes for sure, I'm not going to record it all in one go unless it's a super simple process that I have memorized. A lot of times I'm doing these for software that I'm not familiar with, right? So I have to follow a set of instructions. So because of that, I will typically do them sections at a time. So in a 2-minute video, I may have 3 or 4 different screen recordings. So what I do is with my audio track laid out, I have Camtasia open. I set up my screen size, usually a 1920 by 1080 frame within my 4K monitor is how I do it. And then I put the browser, if it's a browser-based software that I'm recording, I'll put that within the dotted green line of Camtasia, and I will stretch it so that I get the the Google tabs. I use Google Chrome. I'll get the Chrome tabs out of frame. I'll get the vertical scroll bar out of frame. Any download notifications I have along the bottom of my Chrome, I'll get them out of frame. So I'll set up my frame exactly the way I want it so that it's going to be 1920 by 1080. I then may adjust the zoom, right? If you hold down Control and go plus, minus, whatever, or no, is it Control and then your mouse scroll wheel up or down will zoom in or zoom out of your Chrome. Just a little tip there. But some web pages don't display very well at 1920 by 1080. Maybe some of the menu items have returned to the bottom and you need to make it smaller so they all fit on one line. Anyways, I get that all set up and then I will memorize several steps and I'll record it and then I'll stop. And when I stop, I ever so gently take my hand off my mouse because I don't want the cursor to move, and I will memorize where the cursor is, okay? Because that's where I want to start my next section, okay? So I will then memorize the next section and then get my cursor ready, and then I will record again. And then, usually the cursor isn't in exactly the same place, but if it looks like it jumps a bit, I will usually do a fade transition from one to the other so you can't really tell. Usually people's attention isn't right on the cursor anyway, so it's not usually a big deal. So anyways, that's what I've done in the past. Now it seems like there's a lot more flexibility in editing your cursor in Camtasia 2022, and I'll show you what I mean. So let me share my screen again. Okay, so sorry, let me just hide this here. Okay, so with this selected, let's just see what I got going on here. Hey guys, so let's get to where the cursor moves. Okay, even right there, I had the cursor. Let's just do this section here, okay? So I'm going to start right there. Just so I know what's going on, I'm going to okay, right off the bat, here we go. No. How do I add a marker? My marker is gone. Marker, here we go. Okay, I had to, so, okay, now it's there. Add a marker. Okay, so there. When you launch a new version of Camtasia, some of your settings are gone. So that was one of them. I use markers a lot. So, so if you use markers a lot and you can't find where they went, just go right here. Go to this drop-down arrow, click it, and you can have it show marker or quiz. And I don't do anything with the quiz, so I just keep marker. Oh, I took it away there. So drop down and select marker there. Okay, so now I know where I want to start looking at. And if I go over to here, before I scroll back up, so right about there, I guess, and I'm going to drop another marker right there. And let's just zoom out. This is the section of video I'm going to play with. Okay, so just here to here. Okay, so now let's highlight. So just so we don't get confused, this track here is my camera. Let me just double click here and write in camera so I don't forget. Tab, and double click here and write in screen. Okay, and just to keep things simple, let's type in audio right there. Obvious, but okay, now we've named our tracks. Not something I usually do, but I know you can do it. Anyways, I add and delete tracks all the time, so that's usually, I'll usually get messed up if I label them and then I've added and deleted and whatnot. Anyway, so now let's look at the cursor. Let's highlight the screen. Okay. Now with the screen highlighted, again, not the camera, but the screen, come up here to the right and you'll see this cursor here. Let's click on that cursor properties. Okay. You can see here, you can change the scale, the opacity, that's of the cursor. So the scale here, look at that. You can make that as bigger or smaller. Now you used to be able to do this with Camtasia 2021 and before as well. I don't know when you started to be able to do it, but I know with the last version you could. But if you got too big, it would get pixelated. Okay. Let me just silence that. It would get pixelated. Now it doesn't. Now they use a vector diagram and vector art, and you can scale it up and not lose any of the quality. So you can make it that big. You can change the opacity of it as well if you want to, and you can get into editing the cursor path. But before we do that, let's just see what this looks like. So now we have a large cursor. Okay, and it's moving around the same way that it did. If you want to edit the cursor path, so again, with the screen selected, click on this button here, and you're given a couple of options. You can simplify the existing path or create a new path. So you can start from scratch. So if you didn't like, if your mouse was going all over the place and you just wanted to straighten it out, you can start and create a new path if you want. I'm not going to do that right now. Let's just see what this simplify existing path does. So let's click on that and click continue. There you go. It draws out your path, and you can see it here with this line with all these circles around it. Okay. Let me just make this as big as I can so that you can see that. And if you scrub through the timeline, you can see that the cursor is following that path. Okay. Let me just reduce the scale again to something a little more manageable. Okay, that looks good. Now, if you want to edit this, sorry, I'm getting ahead of I'm trying to say too many things at once here. Take a look at the timeline, at your screen in the timeline. You see all kinds of new things here. This slightly bluish gray line with these circles on it. This is your cursor path, okay? And each one of these dots corresponds to a dot on the screen here, okay? So, and if I double click, can I double click and go to one? I don't think so. Let's just zoom in on this part here. But if I do click it, it highlights it here, okay? Click it, it highlights it here. When you click it, it gives you some options. So this one here, with this one highlighted, see these two, you can actually click and move it. See that? You can change your path, the path of your cursor. And you can also change the arc with these lines. You can drag it out. I mean, there's all kinds of different things you can do with this. But I mean, if you do something too crazy, it might look a little strange. But what you're doing is you're altering the cursor path. Okay? So here's a long one. This might not be a great example because there's all kinds of movements that I was doing here. As you can see, it's drawing them all out. And you can edit all of these. Okay? Now, and then when you're finished making your edits, just click Finish Editing. Okay, and then it's done. So now you're back to your normal display. Let's click on Edit Cursor Path again. Okay, we can see all our dots up here again. Oh, we can click to Restore Path. Okay, Restore Path. Okay, now let's click Edit Cursor Path again. I'm trying to get back to where we can replace it, and I'm not sure how we can do that. Finish editing. Not sure how we can do that. Edit Cursor Path. Restore. Let's restore that. Properties, no. Edit Cursor Path. Let's try to right click here. Delete cursor point. You can delete your cursor point. Okay, I'm not sure how to get back to the point where it asked me if I want to edit my existing path or create a new one. That's what I was looking for. Sorry, I'm just getting a little warm in here. But this is all new. This is all new to me. Again, there were some simple ways that you could edit your cursor before. Now it's a lot more complex. There's a lot more that you can do with it. So take some time and play around with that. I, for one, think this is going to be a great way to eliminate, cursor, to be able to match your cursor up from one clip to the next, and to eliminate any mistakes, frankly, and to make your cursor movements more smooth. There's other options up here, which I can't get to right now, probably because I clicked the wrong thing to get here, but line types, you can, maybe I have to select a, there we go. Okay, I selected one of the dots here. Finish editing. Okay, edit cursor path. So you can make changes like this to your cursor path. You can move the points around. Okay, and then we have this for the line type. We have this one selected, so it's curved and curved. You could have curved, convert selected point to curve in and angle out, if you want, like that. There, so it's curved in and then just a straight angle. Okay, or you can do it the other way around, angle in and curve out, or just angle. So it gets rid of the curve altogether. Okay. In addition, you can change the excuse me. In addition, you can change the easing, and you may be familiar with this with animations. Okay, so when you're easing, you can ease both, in, out, or none, and that just means if you have an animation, if you're animating from one point to another, so if your cursor is going from one point to another, if you want to ease both, that means it's going to start slow, speed up, and then slow down at the end. Okay. If you want to ease in, it'll ease into the speed, but then end more harshly, if you will. Let's just try that here. See if we, I don't know if this sample is good enough to, let's just play this. Okay. Yeah, I may have too much going on in my, let's just try this though. Ease both. Yeah, I think that changed it a little, somewhat. Ease none. Okay, and it probably just affected that one that I had highlighted. Okay, so anyways, it's going to take me some time to play around with this, but lots of cool potential here, I think, for really making your videos polished. Editing your cursor, I think that is great. But I'm going to need some more time with it. Okay. Let me see now. Two more things. One is new transitions. So Camtasia 2022 has a lot of new transitions. And again, this may not be the best video. I mean, I can quickly make a cut here. If I make a cut to the video here, okay, and then I move here, let's cut there. I'm just basing it off the audio. I'm typing S for split. I'll highlight these, delete. So highlight these and move them back. So that is the process I usually go through to make a jump cut. Camtasia home. And then if we scroll. Okay, so that's a definite cut. I jump from one screen to another. Actually, you know what? I think a better thing to do is, this will make it more obvious. Let's make the camera screen larger. Oh, I obviously did that at a different size, different aspect ratio. I recorded my screen in a non 16:9 aspect ratio. Okay, so there's my screen. So Camtasia home. And then you can see that's an abrupt cut. So a transition would be from going from there to there. And depending on how you want that to look, you have some options. So let's come up to transitions. Okay, there are a ton here already. The main one that I've always used is fade and fade through black. Okay, so I use those all the time, and I have them favorited, or I did. I suppose my favorites are probably reset now, aren't they? Oh no, they're there. So fade and fade through black, I use those all the time. That's animation, that's restore an animation, and remove a color. These are my favorite annotations, transitions, and whatnot that I put in there. But now there's some new transitions. I've written them down here. One is spotlight. So we can either scroll down. I think we can just start typing SP. Oh, no, what did that do? Control Z, but undid it. If I'm here, if I type S, no. Oh, I have to go in here and probably search. But anyways, I know it's called spotlight. That's what I'm looking for. Go down to S. Where are you? There's so many. SPO. Am I looking in the wrong spot? I can't spell. Where are the? I thought these were in transitions. Spotlight and outline edges are two transitions that were within the Mac version of Camtasia, but not in Windows. But now they are in Windows, and the Spotlight one looked really cool to me. I just have to find them. Animations? No. Behaviors? No. Visual effects must be in here. There they are. I went to the wrong place. Visual effects, and oh, I can favorite them too. So Spotlight is one of them. Let's just drag this down here. Spotlight, and you can put that right on your screen. Let's undo that. I put that on that screen. Let's put it on my that screen. There we go. So there's a Spotlight. Okay, cool new effect that any of you who are Mac users might be used to this already. But it's new for Windows, and it seems really cool. I've used the Spotlight annotation before. Like if you go up to annotations, sorry, the Spotlight callout, and that one is right here. Okay, Spotlight under annotations, and that gives you a sharp box that you can change the size of, and it blurs not blurs, but it darkens everything outside the Spotlight, and that's one way that I highlight things in my video tutorials. But this new way so again, it's under visual effects. It's called Spotlight. It's at the bottom. I've already dragged it down here. And if I click here, I can see that effect has been added right here. If I click on it, it's up here. And actually, I didn't even have to do that, even with it not selected. If I come up to the properties, I can see it added right here. And I can toggle it on or off. Okay. And I can change the color of the Spotlight. So I can make it red. I don't know why I would do that, but let's leave it at white. In addition, I can change the opacity of it. So how sharp or not sharp it is. I can change the brightness of the Spotlight. Oh, that's blown out. So we'll just go. Actually, if you click here, it just resets it. Okay, can change the focus. Oh, yes. Okay, I see. That's cool. And the ease in and the ease out of it as well. That's all right. But what I also wanted to show you here is you can see a little X up here, a little circle with an X. If you hover over it, it turns red. And I can click and drag that and change the direction of the Spotlight. You see that? I think that is so cool. And again, I apologize for you Mac users who already know about this, but I did not know about this. You can also click and drag the starting point. Okay, so let's say I want my light source to start there, and I want it to shine this way. Okay, that's how I do that. Again, I can change everything about it. The brightness, the focus, the opacity. So if you really want to, can you just drag? I'm just playing around with this a little bit here. If I put that there and this here, that's kind of cool. Drag it like that, like that. Change the focus. Okay, let's make it a little bit longer. Change the focus. Neat little effect. I like that. Okay, but it's done to the whole clip, just so you understand. This is an effect added to the entire clip. So if you are zooming up and down, you may need to cut that clip. So if I just wanted to, I think you understand. If I wanted to highlight this area, okay, right there is I'm starting on it. So I may want to S right there to cut it. And then let's scrub until it goes away right there. S to cut it again. Okay, and if I only want it to highlight that for that section, let's come back here and I will highlight and delete the property from that clip, and I'll do the same thing on this side to delete it. So now it is only highlighting that section. Down, we can see the Camtasia highlight or spotlight expansion, and then not. Okay, that's cool. Very cool. So spotlight, and then just to finish this up, I will also, let's go back to the spotlight. Let's try this ease in and ease out thing here. Let's say it takes, I don't know, 0.5 of a second to ease in. And let's go 0.5 to ease out. And let's just see what that looks like. Down, we can see the Camtasia library expansion. A little smoother. Very nice. So spotlight, that is a new, I wrote down transition, but it's not. It's a new visual effect. And another one is outline edges. Let's just do that to this same section. And again, if you want to toggle it on or off, you just do that here. Okay. So let's toggle that off for now. Let's drag down outline edges to the same clip. Effect has been added. Let's just scroll down a bit here. We see it's been added here. Outline edges. And you can see right off the bat what it did. It stripped away all of the colors and made it almost like a just a black and white. Okay, so that I don't necessarily see where that would be useful for me right now, but let's try it on this clip here. I'm just going to delete it from there. Let's try it on my camera clip over here. So if I drag outline edges to there, wow, okay, yeah. So that's, the intensity is way up. I can dial that back to change that a bit. The desaturate, okay, that's the color. So that's kind of a cool effect, I suppose. And then if we scroll down further, we can see kind of scary, kind of weird. But you know, it's a new visual effect is what it is. And if you have a use for that, all the power to you. There's something new for you to use. I don't see how I would use that, but you never know. Never say never. Oh, lost you on camera feed. Yes, my camera seems to have gone out. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Let me look at this. Camera seems to have gone out. I'm trying to get it back here. There. Am I back? It looks like I'm back. Let me know if that works. Not sure why that went out. It just shut off. I have the camera on a a battery, a dummy battery plugged into the wall. So I did not go out of battery. So, but maybe there's a limit to the time. I've been live for close to 2 hours. So that might be part of it. It is warm in here too. Wow. I thought it might be just because I'm a little under the weather today. But anyways, all right. So glitch fixed. That wasn't bad. That's probably fixed in record time. Okay, let me just quickly check the okay, Jacob says we see you again. Awesome. Thanks for pointing that out. Jacob Anderson also says, can you also edit the range of the visual effect in the effect tray on the timeline without needing to split by dragging the ends in? Can you also edit the range of the visual effect in the effect tray? Oh, I see what you mean. Let's come back here. There's our spotlight. Let's turn our spotlight effect back on. So let's just zoom in here because I already have this track split. So I think you're referring to this here. Oh my Lord, would you look at that? Yes, you can. All right, so this is like an aha moment for me. Have we been able to do that in Camtasia 2021 for other effects? Because if so, I've never done that. That is cool. Yeah, look at that. So at the end as well. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I love it. I could definitely. So yeah, I did not have to split that at all. So yeah, Jacob, thanks for pointing that out. And I'd be interested to know if we were able to do that with other effects, because I've never done that before. Pam says you're back. Yes, thank you. I am back. Dr. Techie MMC says yes. All right. Well, I've learned something new today that you guys apparently all knew and I didn't. So I'm going to make a video about that because I think that's really cool. And maybe I'm not the only one who didn't know about that. Here I am pretending to be somewhat of an expert. I hate that word, but I'm making videos on how to use Camtasia, and there's a lot about it that I don't know about. So this is awesome. So thank you very much for showing me that. I definitely can see a use for that. More of a use for that than the outline edges effect. I don't see where I'd be using that. But definitely this here. Yeah, and if anybody else didn't know about that, this is huge. I think that's great. Okay, but enough about that. Let's move on. There was one other thing I wanted to mention. So library expansion, we talked about that. New home screen, we talked about that. Just make me bigger here. Audiate integration is new in Camtasia 2022, and I think that's potentially really awesome. And that I see that if TechSmith didn't have, I mean, I'm assuming Camtasia is by far TechSmith's best product or best selling product. I could be wrong. Maybe it's Snagit. I'm not sure, but I knew about Camtasia long before I knew who made Camtasia or who sells it, which is TechSmith. It's just me. And maybe they didn't always own it. I don't even know. But it's Camtasia is what I knew first. Then I stumbled into Snagit, and I use that now as well. But Audiate, I think, is relatively new. And if they do not have a lot of customers or clients who use Audiate, I think with these new integration abilities between Camtasia and Audiate, I think they're going to see a lot of new people sign up for it and buy that software because it looks very promising to me. Again, I have my own ways of doing things right now with editing and with transcription, but that may not be as good as the way you can do it now with Audiate and Camtasia. So I have to take a long, hard look at that. Might save me some money too. If I can save even 1 year of paying for Trint, yeah, because that costs twice as much as Audiate, and it doesn't integrate with Camtasia. So anyways, that might be a no-brainer right there. And then cursor effects, which I think has the potential to be huge. I think there's a lot to it, which is why I couldn't really get into too much detail on it. My cursor map looked pretty crazy there for a while. And then the new transitions. The last one that I wanted to point out is called blend mode. Okay, so that is, okay, sorry, before I show it on my screen, I better show my screen, right? So here's my screen. If you go to visual effects, okay, scroll, make sure you scroll to the top. There's something here called blend mode, okay? And now I saw that on Camtasia's website, I believe. And what it is it's a way to blend two images together. Let's say you have something on a green screen, yourself, say you've recorded yourself on a green screen. So there's you, and then everything's green behind you. And then let's say you want to put something else. You want to cut out the green and put you on something else. You can blend those two together without actually going through the steps of removing green screen. Okay, so that's the idea. Now, in order to test this out, I'm going to go to, I'm going to go find let's just bring this up here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to bring up, so this is Storyblocks. Actually, no, I'm not doing this. That's not the way I should do this. I should go into, let's go into the library. Is there something in here on a screen in the library? A Camtasia asset, cursor packs. Search library, green. That's not really what I'm going after. Neon lights, green. See, what is that? Let's bring that down. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so I brought, let's just hide that. I brought neon lights down. Okay, and let's see how, I don't know if that would, oh, that already has blend mode in it. Look at that. So it's already got blend mode in it. The callout that I chose already has blend mode in it. Okay, so let's turn off blend mode and see what it looks, see what it does different. That's without it on, that's with it on. You can see that it says, okay, this may not be a great example to show what it does. Yeah, I apologize. I don't have anything that I can show you except I still have Audiate open. Let's open up my, where is it? Let's go to Storyblocks. Okay, let's go find a video. Video, I'm gonna search for a video on, I don't know, smoke. Okay, and here we go. There's some smoke. There's some smoke. Okay, let's just download one of these. Download HD for MP4. Let's download that. Okay. Now let's minimize that. Let's bring this back up again. I'm going to, do I even want to save this? Let's just come over here. Let's just make this small. Now, let's go find the smoke that I just downloaded. And I'm dragging that from one monitor over to this monitor. And it's right there. Okay. Let's change my screen to a proper 1920 by 1080 size, because that is what I downloaded as well. Okay. So we got that there. Now, actually, okay, I want to get rid of that. Where is that? Bear with me, folks. Delete that. All right, perfect. So this is my screen. Let's just bring this over here. I'm making a real mess of this video, but I'm just trying to set up an example. So, okay, I got two things here. Wait now. Make sure there's audio there too. Okay, highlight this, delete. You know what? I'm just going to delete all that. Boom. Nice, clean, project. Okay, what do we have here? Except I'm the wrong aspect ratio, so let's just fill the screen to fit. How come you're not fitting? Fit. Okay, it's not working exactly right, but anyways, you get the idea. Is this all right? What are we doing here? Just lining this up. There. All right. We're good. 1920 by 1080. I have smoke that I downloaded right there. Okay. And then on top of that, I have myself right there. And now if I go to blend, so that is in transitions. No, it's in visual effects, blend mode. Let's bring that down. There, you can already see what it's doing. If I put that on the top track, which is me, okay, it blended the two together. And then if we scroll down further, we can see like that automatic cursor replacement. That's kind of cool. Okay, if I wanted the smoke to be lower, I would have to highlight it. I'd have to move myself out of the way. Highlight it. Let's just drag it down a bit. There, now it'll start from off the screen. And then if we scroll down to come up, we can see the automatic cursor. I think that's pretty cool. So it's just, you just drag blend mode down to the top track and it blends the two together. Now the smoke had just a black screen, so it kind of knew what to do. But what you can do here is if you highlight blend mode and come up here to the properties window, there are some other things you can do. There's some settings. There's the intensity. Okay, so you can change the intensity. So with it off, with intensity 0, it's not doing anything. It's just, well, it's turning the top track completely off is what it's doing. Range, gray all, gray shadows, red shadows. There's all kinds of different things you can do. Gray all, ease in, ease out. Again, mode is screen, color dodge, linear dodge, overlay. See, look, there's all kinds of things you can do with this. But it looks like it chose the one that, I mean, just gray all was the easiest one. Now, if you get into some different colors with some oranges, maybe some fire or something like that, you may have to play around with the range and the intensity and to find one that looks good for you. But that's another new thing that did not exist before Camtasia 2022. So that's cool. And with that, that's the end of my list of things to go over. What did you think? What do you think of Camtasia 2022? I think it's pretty cool. I really like the cursor editing ability now. So that's one thing. And I also like the huge library that they now have. As some of you may know, I've toyed with the idea of going to Premiere Pro when editing larger and high definition or 4K videos. So I want to get into making more videos of myself and of landscape videos and of the outdoors and things like that. And but those types of videos, I would like to be in 4K. All of the Camtasia videos I've made up till this point have been 1080p, and they've also been 20 minutes or less. And the amount of jump cuts that I do, there's a lot. I do a lot of jump cuts, a lot of heavy editing. And what I found that very difficult to do in Camtasia with 4K. If I have too many edits, things were just slowing down. Now, disclaimer, I did not use the proxy video setting or ability which was in Camtasia 2021 as well. I have not used that. So that might be part of my answer. The other part of my answer is the nice looking callouts and video transit. Well, the transitions have always been good, but the callouts, the graphics have always been kind of, for lack of a better term, cartoony, in my opinion, in Camtasia, and not as professional looking as what you often see in Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro. So that has always been a reason. Oh, maybe I should go learn more of that. That seems to be what people on YouTube do. But you know what? With these new, just bring myself up here a little bigger. With these new transitions, or it's under annotation library. With these new library assets that they have under callouts, indicators and text, these things are cool. Like a lot of these things in here, there's a lot of really cool things in here, like this, right? Things like that. To me, that's very professional looking. Camtasia didn't have things like that before. You either had to build them yourself or try to find them online, perhaps an animation that's already made that you can either download from Google, or maybe you'd have to buy it at a place like Envato or a marketplace, or from somebody who makes animations, or pay somebody on Fiverr to make you animations. Camtasia now has a lot of very professional looking callouts and animations in their library that you can choose from. And I think that might have stopped a lot of people, myself included, from moving over towards Premiere Pro and bringing Camtasia more up to being more of a video editing software. It's always been, in my mind, screen capture software that you can also do some light video editing with. That's the way I've always thought of Camtasia. With every new year, it seems, TechSmith is moving Camtasia more and more closer to being a full-blown video editor. Some other things that it can do that I have not used yet that were released last year, things like LUTs, adding LUTs. And for those of you in the photography or videography world will understand that those are ways to color correct your videos. So there's a lot of things like that I haven't even gotten into in Camtasia yet that I plan to, that you can do. So Camtasia, quickly becoming a true competitor to Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro, in my opinion. They're certainly moving a lot closer to it than they were before. No longer just a screen recording and screen capture, editing your screenshots type of software, which you can't do in Premiere Pro anyways. So if I made a video in Premiere Pro and I needed some screen captures, I would either have to use Camtasia or Snagit or OBS or something else to get the screen captures, right? So, but Camtasia is doing it all right now. So this is awesome. Let me just take another quick look at the chat because we're pretty much wrapping up here. Unless anybody has any questions they want me to go over. If you want to see something again, let me know. Or if there's anything you want to see me make a video on, be it Camtasia 2022 or even 2021. Well, from now on, I have 2022 installed. So that's what I'm going to use, barring any problems with it. I mean, I downloaded it today. I've been running it for over 2 hours on this live stream, and about an hour before that. It has not crashed yet. So that's a good sign. It is version 22.0.0. So usually some bugs will be found and they'll be corrected, and then you'll update and you'll be fine that way. But barring any problems, I'm going to be using 2022 from now on, and I'll be making more videos on it, on how to do all the little things within it. And if there's anything you want to see me make a video on, let me know, either in the chat now or in the comments of this video afterwards, or in the comments of any of my videos afterwards. Feel free to let me know there. And I will strive to make a video on anything and everything you want me to make a video on with regards to Camtasia. I've said before that I'll also make videos on Fiverr and other software that I use. Canva is another favorite of mine. Just freelancing in general and all that stuff. Live streaming, YouTube, anything like that. But today's video was all on Camtasia, the new release. It came out today. I'm super impressed. And I hope you guys are too. So let me just quickly look at all the, there's a couple more chats here. Adam S. says, I'm super glad you did this, Rob. Thanks, Adam. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it might have been you who suggested this last week or 2 weeks ago. I didn't go live last Thursday. But I went live the week before and somebody suggested you should do a virtual unboxing. of Camtasia when it comes out. And I thought, you know what? That's a really good idea. I was always planning on making a video on it, on all the new features, but doing it live, figuring it out myself with you guys wasn't something I thought about until somebody mentioned it. I think it might have been you, Adam. So if it was, thank you very much. It was a good idea and it was fun. I had a lot of fun. And I think we had more viewers than normal this time too. So that's great. Adam says, the challenge I run into with After Effects is that the sound does not sync while editing very well. Camtasia works with sound much better. Very good. And with After Effects, do you mean Premiere Pro? They're both Adobe. Excuse me. Again, my experience with After Effects is very limited. I haven't really used it at all. My understanding is it's more of a animation studio. You can do a whole lot with it. You can make a full-blown cartoon with it. But Premiere Pro being their video editing software. But I think there is some overlap there. But yeah, if the sound doesn't sync, that's not good. Camtasia, I have no trouble with the sound syncing. Except, and this is not trouble, it's just the way I do it. Usually when I record, when I edit, or when I make a video, I will record my audio separately as a separate audio track in Adobe Audition. And then I edit that, and then I export that, and then bring it into Camtasia. That's my workflow. I've just become used to it. And because I do it that way, I will always have to sync up the audio with the video. But since the video that was captured by Camtasia also captured audio from my camera, so my camera captures audio, but this mic up here also, this mic captures it into Adobe Audition, that mic captures it into Camtasia. So syncing two audios up together is relatively easy. You just look at the wave, what do they call it? Waveforms, the visual of the audio. But if you don't have another audio to sync it up to, then you have to do something like clap. And then as you see yourself do the clap, you will see the spike in the audio, and then that makes it easy to sync it up. So anyways, yep. So that's that. What else do we have here? One more. Maynard Mariquin says, I need to learn how to use LUTs in Camtasia. All right, cool. So do I. I haven't used them before. But it's cool that they allow it. That's getting pretty advanced. So that's if you want to color correct any video that you've recorded. Right now, I'm recording in my home studio. It's a controlled environment, meaning I have the window blocked out. Let me just minimize this here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, well, you can see my curtains here. There's a window behind those curtains. So I have the windows blocked out. I've got lights on. I have auto white balance set on my camera. I've got a really good camera that I use. I say really good. It is good. It's really good. There are much better ones that a lot of YouTubers use. But I'm using the A6400, which is a crop sensor camera. It's got a lot of bells and whistles in it. The only thing it really doesn't have that some of the higher end cameras have is a full size sensor, which in my understanding isn't even really all that necessary when it comes to making videos, more so with photography. But I'm not an expert, so I better not say too much more than that. It's a great camera. It allows me to balance the white balance, set it to auto white balance. The picture and the colors, it allows me to set it to auto. So, and that's all I do now is it's on auto. But for those who want more control over their colors and color grading and all that, Camtasia has some tools now with LUTs. A LUT is basically like a filter that you would see in Instagram that you can apply to a video, and it makes it look different. So you might have a LUT that has more blue in it. You might have a LUT that looks black and white or kind of yellowish, like old-fashioned black and white country and western type. These are different LUTs or different looks, and you can install them in Camtasia, and that's basically goes over top of your video, and it gives your videos a new look. Yeah, I'll make a video on that one of these days. I don't want to promise it'll be too soon because I'm not an expert at that just yet. But thank you for that. let's see. If there's nothing else, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. We've been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, it's my 10th live stream. So hooray, we've got 10 in the bag. That's great. Also wanted to thank all of you subscribers out there, because since the last time I went live, we've hit 1,000 subscribers. So thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Obviously, somebody wants to listen to what I have to say. So that's humbling, a little humbling, I guess. But no, it's fun. I'm kind of transitioning into, or I'd like to transition to teaching people how to do what I do. So I use Camtasia as my number one tool in my work life, and I work for myself. I'm a freelancer, and I'm going to say 95% of what I do, I use Camtasia to do it. So if I can help you guys, and I'm not an expert, as you found out today, if you've been watching, there are things that I don't know about Camtasia that perhaps you guys did know, that will make my life a little bit easier. So that's awesome. But yeah, so I'd like to share my knowledge with you guys and perhaps grow my knowledge a little bit as well. And while I'm doing this, I'm kind of teaching myself this whole live streaming and YouTube business thing and growing this channel. And so, yeah, we hit 1,000 subscribers. That's awesome. That's I think we're at 1,030, I think, before we went live today. So again, thank you very much if you're a subscriber. Hope you'll stick around. Again, going to come up with some more Camtasia videos, especially on 2022 now in the next little while. Hope to come out with 1 or 2 in the next week, and then maybe go 1 to 2 per week for a little while. I want to ramp it up a little bit. But first I have to kick this cold, or I guess technically it's COVID that I got. So yeah, I'm going to take maybe a little bit of a nap after this. Just a couple more comments came in. Adam says, great job. Thanks, Adam, for your input. Pamela Power says, great. Thank you. I think she's from the West Coast. Thanks for stopping in again. You've been a subscriber for quite a while. Maynard Mariquin says, I use LUTs and V-Ray for my render, but I have no idea how to use it in Camtasia. Okay, great. So you've got some experience with LUTs already. My only experience is what I've seen in other videos. I've never used them myself. So but we will get into that. Pamela says, with 1,000, you get monetized. Not exactly. There's 2 main things. And quite honestly, when I do get monetized, that just means I get to participate in the revenue share with ads. And my understanding is that'll start small, but you need not just 1,000 subscribers, but I also need 4,000 watch hours within the previous 365 days. And I'm not that close to, I think I've got, would this tell me right now? Last I looked, I was at 2,100 hours in my last year. So I've got a little ways to go. I'm currently on pace to get to that 4,000 watch hours mark. I'm going to say within the next 6 months or so. So yeah, that'll be exciting. So getting monetized means I might get a monthly check for about $15 from Google or YouTube starting off, but that apparently will grow as the channel grows if I keep up with this. So start small, and but that's not the end goal. There are other things or other ways to monetize a channel just besides participating in the AdSense revenue share. But yeah, no, 1,000 is definitely the first step. So I'm happy to hit that. Bernie McStay says, thanks, Rob. Thanks, Bernie, for stopping by. I think you were here at the beginning. So if you've stayed the whole 2 hours, you're a marathoner. Thank you for that. That's great. Maynard says, thanks, ? You're welcome. No, thank you again, guys, for stopping in. And with that said, have fun with Camtasia 2022. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if there's any other videos you want to see me make, and I will get on that. And with that said, I am going to sign off and go take another throat lozenge, I think, for my throat. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.